911, we need the police now, somebody just started shooting at the CL. Okay, so where are you at? 6B Uptown Lounge, it's a bar. His name is People on Arm, multiple gunshot wounds. Baby, breathe, please, please. Jess, you got it, someone call 4355. For homicide detectives, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours. Gentlemen, what's up? Hey, would you have his name? Jeff Burns, 47-year-old Jeff Burns was born in Brooklyn, New York. As a young boy, his parents were murdered, and he was raised by his grandmother. Known to friends as New York, Jeff moved to Tulsa and opened the Uptown Club as a way to help his community. Jeff leaves behind 3 daughters, 3 sons, and a common-law wife. Yeah, it's a sad deal. We've had a few murders out here. 4 months earlier, a fight broke out in Jeff's club. He tried to break it up, but a man was killed. This is my CL. We do community work. We feed the kids, and we do stuff like that to get people off the streets, out there, and have something to do. You know what I am saying, so this just don't make no sense. There's a bullet under his back. Jeff was shot 6 times in the chest, stomach, arm, and back. Cartridge case here. Yeah, the team finds 6.40 caliber casings. Did you know more of the story? Know of the club? He's breaking up a fight between several females. First responder Lieutenant Stephen Saints interviewed several witnesses who stayed on the scene. Supposedly, these girls that are fighting are strippers at the landing strip. No one's indicated that either of them are a suspect. No, a male, I guess, gets involved, spills out here, opens fire on him, so he's shooting them out the door, trying to keep peace. He gets shot. Yeah, and the suspect left in a vehicle. There's no video inside this club, is there? They live stream, nothing recorded. Next door to the club, they've got some excellent cameras along here, trying to get a hold of somebody from the weed shop. We need to get that. While the team waits to get access to the surveillance camera, there's going to be an officer taking you down, okay. Brown sends the witnesses who stayed on scene down to homicide. Victim's wife, she's not a witness. She was inside, one of the women was grazed by a bullet. She left, she's not coming back. Her boyfriend's here, so is he going to go downtown? Yeah, very good, we're going to go downtown, see what's up. Yes, this is Detective White. Hey there, and how are you related to Mr. Burns? He's a friend of the family. He's a friend of my mom, raised me. Okay, what can you tell me about tonight? We got there, it was fine. 2 females got into it. One hit the other, everybody was grabbing one another. So, did you see the 2 girls fighting get pushed out? No, it was just everybody, like next thing you know, he just ran outside, and that's what it was. Boom, 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 boom. When I went outside, his wife, V, was hanging over him. Got to hear a brief, it was like for 5 seconds, and it was it. Okay, why did he run outside? He normally runs outside when there's still conflict. Like, hell, go outside and do his job. So, did you see who shot? I wasn't outside yet. I just don't understand why. Why somebody who wants to make a change in our community can't even go out and enjoy themselves. I know they were supposed to come over later today, so he could work, and that's not going to happen. He'll have Officer FQU take you home, okay. Okay, I talked to you briefly at the club. The detectives turned to the boyfriend of the woman who was grazed by a bullet. You were telling me some stuff about a girl you're dating. She wasn't involved. Well, she got shot. It just scratched her, like grazed her. Yeah, so bam, this is what happened. We're all sitting at the tables right here. The dude who did the fire, right, okay, was sitting at the table in front of me. The dude never paid to get in, so him and the owner, New York, were having words or whatever. I don't even know dude. I paid for dude to come in, so if dude comes in, and New York sees he didn't pay. Did dude come in with anybody? I don't know. After I did that, I went up to DJ's booth, and then he says he was talking to the DJ when the fight broke out between the 2 dancers. I jumped up, was like, alright, I am going to go help him break it up, cause New York, me and New York, we were cool. His wife grew up together, so I am breaking it up. So, what's the rumor on the 2 girls that were arguing or fighting? I don't see that part. I had nothing to do with it, I was just trying to break it up. He says the fight between the dancers was unrelated to the man not paying his entry fee. But New York comes back, it's like, okay, it's time for everybody to leave. I get everybody that was in front of me outside. I look back, New York's right here. He says, I appreciate that, W. I still got my hand on dude's shoulder, and I feel him push me. So when he pushed me, I turned around, and there's a gun in my face. So, all I did was just drop down. I see my girl come out the back door. I am like, alright, I am going to get the car. I ran for the hills. So, your girl, how come she doesn't want to come back up here? Hey man, don't ask me. So, did you see old boy run off? Listen, okay, this is the other part. I had my girl's keys. The first little incident happened, I set her keys on the bar. When that other stuff broke out, the dude had the keys. How do you know that? 'Cause he drove off in her. Did you see him get in her car? No, I didn't see him get in, but she was yelling, he took my car, and her friend was in the backseat asleep. Friend, a guy or girl? It's a girl. Okay, when they drove off with this girl in the back. What kind of car she got? She had a gray Jeep Liberty. And this old dude ain't friends with your girl, that you know of? No, not that I know of. Do you know any of these people? Listen, okay, now when dude told me, thank you, I could have sworn it was the same voice from a dude that I was locked up with. But you don't remember this dude's name. I don't remember his name. We're not going to see on the video that this cat rolled up there with you guys, no. No, he says somehow the suspect picked up the keys off the bar, and they believe the suspect left in her Jeep Liberty. You didn't have time to go steal a car and shoot someone. It stinks. My CL Alsoys, I don't believe anything he's saying, so I need to talk to find out what I need to know about this guy. Okay, Vina, I am sorry. Detectives speak with Jeff's common law wife out there at the club. At some point, that guy right there comes into the bar. Brown shows her a photo of the man they just interviewed. You've known him for how long? Since I was. She believed, okay. At any point in time, was he with anybody else? It was something else that he was around. He was paying for them. They weren't shooters that were fighting. They were not. Okay. Did it appear in any way when you were watching all these people that he might have known the shooter? I am trying to think, 'cause my mind's kind of gone right now. I am trying to, but I think he came in there with the shooter. Okay, like they came in together, they were in the same party. Okay, where were you when you heard the gunshots? Over by the TV. She says she was inside the club when Jeff was shot. What did you see when you ran outside? So, Jeff's lying on the ground. I just told everybody, call the ambulance, call the police, just. Did you see which way the alleged shooter ran or who he ran with? Her, okay, everybody kept talking, a gray Jeep. What was this whole stuff over? I have no idea. Okay, we can have you hang out for just a few more minutes. 6 hours in, the vehicle that the suspect drove off in, evidently, a girl was in the back sleeping, and she just now woke up and said, hey, I am on Riverside somewhere. The woman called the police and gave her location. We definitely want the car, okay, and then bring her down here, right, and I am going to go down there with you guys. Suspect vehicle just did this. Tell us his name, while officers head out to find the witness in the suspect's getaway car. You want to watch this video real quick? Yeah, Sergeant Schilling returns with video from the cannabis dispensary and a convenience store next to the club. So, the dude right there, that's the man coming out. Guy in the orange is our victim. There it goes, it happened edgies. See, back there's the suspect right there freaking senseless. Let's see what else we got. I believe this is going to be the Jeep right there, 39 minutes before the call to 911. Back looks like freaking that guy. Detective Brown spots the boyfriend of the woman that owns the Jeep, who they interviewed earlier. And then the suspect walks up. There are 2 females and 3 guys. Well, they show up together then, yeah. Shooting happens, he runs that way, then he runs down to the Jeep, he gets in the driver's seat. The surveillance video is not clear enough to make out the suspect's face. I've got the video from the convenience store. There are 2 standing there, yeah. They both get in, a man and a woman get into the Jeep Liberty with the suspect. Well, for starters, that chick wasn't asleep in the backseat. He takes off, the girl will know where he got out. Well, she should have the answer. The girl that fell asleep in the car went out there and picked her up. The woman that left with the suspect is brought into homicide while the Jeep is impounded and searched. Now she's changing her story and saying she wasn't in the vehicle. Tell us why you're down here. So, I went to Uptown tonight, a fight broke out, and then I heard gunshots, and like really, I was still inside. When we went out, right, I ran. Where'd you run to? Riverbank. She claims she ran to the Riverbank apartments with the woman who owns the Jeep. Okay, so here's the dilemma you have, young lady. What I saw in the video shooting, running to the car. You guys get in, you drove away in that Jeep with the suspected shooter. No. So, with that, it carries an accessory after the fact charge, which means that goes to jail for a felony. So, I am not going home. No, I am just scared. We believe that you're telling the truth. It was just me and my best friend at first. Okay, then we went to go pick up my cousin. She says she went to the club tonight with the woman who owns the Jeep, the woman's boyfriend, and her two cousins. We get to Uptown, we go in, we got a drink, and the man behind the bar was saying something to F about his mask. She says Jeff got into an argument with her cousin Fionn about wearing a mask in the club. He kind of like pulled him to the side, okay, was starting to get mad. And then the two girls F. So, everybody had rushed to the door, and then I heard two gunshots. I ran outside. Dee was about to drive off and leave me, and I jumped in the car. She admits she got into the Jeep Liberty with her cousins after the shooting. Where did you go? I don't know, it was quick. He ran out of the car. After driving a short distance, she says Fionn and her other cousin fled on foot. What was said, Samone? He just said, don't say nothing, and I was just like shocked, like scared. What would he be telling you not to say anything about because he did what? He killed that man. What makes you think Fionn shot him? Because he was mad. And what's his street name? Fionn is just a street name. Yes, sir, full name. Do you know where he lives? No, he doesn't have a certain spot, he just stays here and there. You mentioned the other cousin. What's his name? She gives them the name of her cousin who fled with Fionn. He didn't do nothing wrong. So, if you had to go find him, where would you go look? She's out east. She says they picked up her other cousin at the Evergreen Apartments in East Tulsa. So, why are you afraid of him? Because he's crazy. If he saw him, he'd probably shoot me. What's your definition of crazy? I mean, he's not like dangerous. That's all I know. Okay, let me talk to Detective White. Marquand, that's Marquand. 26-year-old Marquand Marshall has prior convictions for attempting to elude a police officer, felon in possession of a firearm, and drug possession. I have an address for Marshall's mother and another young male. You awake? The team circles back to the man they interviewed earlier, the boyfriend of the woman who owns the Jeep. Just so happens you show up in a car with the shooter. And I was up, I don't remember talking to these people until we got to Uptown. Let's just be real, your girlfriend went to go pick you up. She already had this cat in the back seat with his cousin. Detective White shows him a photo of Marquand Marshall. Simple question is that the cat that you saw at the club. So, it's possible that he was in the car with you, but you just don't remember it. There's a possibility. Is that the same dude that you said you recognize his voice? That's the dude I was locked up with. Okay, I ain't got nothing else for information, I think we're done. Let me see, who is the fifth person in this Jeep? Detective Brown looks up the cousin that fled with Marquand. He's got a domestic on Thursday that he's arrestable for, so what he'll do is give this to the warrants guys. We're going to cut him loose. The girl says they picked up one of the cousins from that Evergreen Apartments, and they could potentially be together. Okay, if Marquand's there, he's arrestable. While fugitive warrant splits off to look for the man that fled with Marquand. We're going to go knock on the door for a possible suspect and see what pans out. The homicide team heads to Marquand's mother's house. We're ready to roll, man. The search is now on for Marquand. 79, how about over here by this Explorer? Yep, that's it. Two juveniles answer the door. Hey, you know Marquand? Yeah, your mom and dad live here. The kids say Marquand's mother is out. Can you have her first call and text her to call Detective Brown? You should take your phone. I am here at your house. I am looking for Marquand. Okay, and you're the second person that told me that today. Do you know how I can find him so I can talk to him? Thank you, ma'am. She says she doesn't let him come here. She said, I don't know where he stays. I don't want to know where he stays, cause that boy be acting a fool. So, she says she'll call if he shows up. Most of the witnesses we talked to today say, hey, he's dangerous, not really right in the head. And there are not too many people out there in this world that are just willing to just execute somebody for no reason. That's rare. I talked to a neighbor and they said that they see Marquand over at that house all the time. He's got a hot temper, and we need to find him before he does something stupid again. 14 hours in. He's still wearing the exact same clothes that he was wearing early this morning. Fugitive warrants finds the man that fled with Marquand at his apartment and brings him to headquarters. He's not the shooter, but there is a chance he could go to jail for accessory after the fact. How are you, sir? How you doing? Hey, I am doing well. This is Detective White. My name is Detective Brown. You have any idea why the police come knocking on your door? Yes, sir, I should. Okay, so tell me your story, man. I came with my cousin and her friend, and she had her boyfriend. We went to Uptown. I had met my brother up there. Your brother? Marquand. Okay, Marquand you. Marshall. Okay, so you guys are brothers. Yes, sir. Okay, so is that the same guy we're talking about? Yes, sir. Okay, so what happens then? We're in the club, and a fight breaks out between two females. The female that was fighting and her brother, they somewhat know each other. We were leaving because, it was too much commotion, and on the way out, I just hear shots. I was going to the car, and so once I heard the shots, I just ran to the car. Me and my cousin both. You guys hauled ass, running to what car? My cousin's friend. Okay, so all four of you I guess 5 now with Marquand. He was in the club. Yes, sir. Okay, are you sure? Yes, sir. Okay, let me show you. You know what that picture is? Yes, sir, my cousin's friend's car. Okay, if I've got that good of a picture and video of this car, what else do you think I've got video of? Of us, coming. Do you want to revise that story, or do you want to stay with that story? No, sorry, I'll stay with that story. Okay, we went to the hotel, we were just chilling. And once that fight broke out, I wanted to get a beer. And once I got out, my brother was right there too. And, I seen. Yeah, I can't put words with you, man. My brother, yeah, I seen that. You seen your brother what? My brother, he just started shooting. Your brother just starts shooting. Yeah, do you know why? He was really mad. Now that I know who's related to who, you're in a tough spot, dude. Where would your brother be if we need to go find him now, because obviously, we do. His mother's house. We've been out since 4-something this morning, and we've been by there. Is he over there a lot? Okay, hang tight. He told the story of what happened with his brother. Good for him that he did. That's the right thing to do. I don't think we're going to book him on accessory, but yeah, he will get booked on domestic. We'll let you have him, all right. 16 hours since Jaff was murdered. Ronnie's got him flagged and traced in case an officer comes across him. My goal is to get the warrant issued for him tomorrow. But, I am going home to get some rest. The next day, I am my dad, but I live in Washington. Detective Brown receives a call from Jaff's daughter, Shalante. My dad was murdered by somebody. Yes, ma'am, we do have a suspect. We are in the process now of doing the paperwork that needs to be done, so there will be a warrant issued for his arrest. Okay, I really appreciate it. We have a victim advocacy program here. I am going to give your name and phone number to them tomorrow. It's a Sunday and they're not working today. Okay, and I am sorry for your loss. I really appreciate it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye. With 6 hours left in the first 48. So, the warrant's signed for him yet? Yeah, yes. Oh, cool. Detectives enlist fugitive warrants to help find Marquand. What you thinking, Poe? I am thinking Mama's place because Jason talked to the neighbor lady, and the neighbor says, man, I've seen him over here all the time. Really? Okay, I'll go sit on Mom's house, see what I see. Okay, well see you, fellas. As the clock winds down, fugitive warrants continues to search for Marquand. There is no visual on him now. Without any luck, it's just a matter of time. Maybe somebody will call in or get a Crime Stoppers tip, and then we'll go from there. In the first 48, Tulsa homicide responded to the murder of 47-year-old Jaff New York Burns, shot 6 times after breaking up a fight in his club. They discovered the shooting was caught on video and that the suspect fled the scene with 2 other people. They tracked down those witnesses, who ID'd the shooter as their relative, Marquand Marshall. They searched for Marquand, but he's nowhere to be found. 3 months later, with still no leads on Marquand's whereabouts. New York was more of a dad to me in a year than my own dad ever was. People whose lives were touched by Jeff returned to the club to pay their respects. I was a very depressed person, and I tried to kill myself, and he stopped it. He took the gun out of my hands and threw it down. It's really hard without him right now. He just reminded me about how important I was to him and to the world. He was a wonderful man. He was just literally the king. He was my husband. He was my business partner. We were everything to each other. We met, and he asked me to be like a waitress for his new club, and then we ended up being together ever since then. New York tried to help everybody. That was just the man he was. This is to New York. May he continue to watch over us, and God guide us in the right direction. 1, 2, 3 Fly high, New York. We love you, baby. After 4 months of searching for Marquand, a tip leads officers to a house. So, now they're watching the house, knowing the suspects inside. Okay, let's go. This is good. This is good, Ronnie. Yeah, dispatch. He came downstairs, slammed the door shut. When Marquand spotted officers outside the house, he locked himself inside. Considering the fact that he's been out on the run and knowing that he has this warrant out, there's no doubt that this is going to be a dangerous situation. I think it's probably going to end with us going in there and having to get him. Well, get a little hurry to it and get there. Rounds being deployed right now. The fugitive warrant squad tries to force Marquand out with pepper spray. Oh, somebody's coming out the front door, but it sounds like, he was smart enough to come out. So, well, see. So, what happened? He was hiding upstairs in the bathroom, so he introduced some pepper ball into the upstairs window, which encouraged him to come down. And as you can tell, we're coughing and hacking, so it was a pretty good saturation. So, you trying to tell me don't go in there? I would not go in there. Okay, once the pepper spray clears, we've got permission to go in there and make sure there are no guns. Yeah, detectives entered to search for the .40 caliber gun used in Jeff's murder. So, we pretty much cleared the whole house. There's not any gun that we saw. I don't think there's one in there. How you doing, sir? My name is Detective Brown. Tulsa Police Department. You're talking to us now. Yep, this young fellow is going to holler at you. Take you down there, and he'll holler at you when we get down there. You good? Okay, man. He says, who is you? Well, I am Detective Brown. He said, man, we'll talk when we get downtown. But I don't really need Marquand to talk. He arrived at the club with individuals. We've talked to those individuals. They all identified him. I think he's done. He knows that, and that's why he's been running and hiding for so long. There we go. How are you, sir? Detectives go in to talk with Marquand, but he requests a lawyer. Okay, he's all yours. You know, for some, it's going to be disheartening that he won't speak on what he did, some of the answers that we want to know and believe we are entitled to know. We just don't get those answers. Is he remorseful? Those comments were never said, so he will live with that. I gotta call Vina. Hey, Vina, hey, it's Detective Brown. How are you? I am all right. Just to let you know that Marquand Marshall is on his way to David Moss. Thank you. I am so relieved. Thank you so much. Well, sure. We will holler at you later. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. It's unfortunate that Jeff Burns ran into Marquand Marshall that evening. Jeff was the security guy, the doorman, the owner, the bartender. He wore many hats at night, and unfortunately, Jeff said something about Marquand that rubbed him the wrong way, and I believe Marquand escalated things, pulled out a gun, and shot him. It is his secret why he did what he did, and the unfortunate part is the family of Mr. Burns will never get those answers. 14 months after Jeff's murder. So many nights that I just cry because my dad was everything to me. His family continues to grieve. He had a really, really rough life. Both of his parents were murdered when he was young, and he bottled it up because he didn't want anybody else to feel his pain. Club Uptown, that was his dream. That was everything to him. He created his own world. He was like a real-life celebrity there, like everybody knew him, and he made you feel at home. He made you feel welcome. And that's why it's crazy that he could be murdered there. There's not a time in my life that I remember my dad not being there. If I needed anything, I could call my dad. If I just needed somebody to talk to, I could call my dad. And for him not to be here it's different because he can't tell me that he loves me, even though I know that he still does. And that's what I miss the most. It feels like I am on this earth by myself without my dad.